Hey, hello everybody. Happy CWK Live Day every Monday night at 7 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. Yes, 7 o'clock p.m. Yeah, that's right. I'm your host, Dan Z. Thrilled to be talking Star Wars with each and every one of you. Well, it's great to see all of you here tonight. We've got Daniel here saying it's time to party. Daniel, I like it and loving the avatar. Daniel's got some really cool stuff in the CWK Cafe. He posts for us. He's a costumer extraordinaire, so be sure to check out his awesome work. Minta can't be with us, but we'll be back next week. Well, may the force be with you, Minta. Mary, happy Monday to you. Good to see you. Ian, happy CWK Day to you, my friend. Ian, as promised, this weekend is going to be the CWK Alliance Spotlight member, and that is going to be a great time. We're working on a fun topic that I think everyone's going to love. So, Ian, we're looking forward to that, buddy. Mason Z is here. Hello, Mason, or otherwise known as Ron Weasley, right? Is that right? Yes. And Blake is here. Hello. What's up, man? How are you? Ross is here too. Well, it's good to see everybody. Anthony is here too. Hello. He says, hey, friends, excited to hear your thoughts on the season finale. Thank you so much, Anthony. Speaking of Anthony, Anthony was kind enough to have me on his show this week, talking about the finale of the Book of Boba Fett. So that was very, very nice. Very, very nice of you. I'm trying to fix some lighting here in the studio and try to get a little bit of light on my face. There we go. Much better. Well, it's great to see everybody. Let's talk some Star Wars, shall we? We've got a lot of fun things to discuss. Tonight we are going to talk about top 5 moments from the finale from the Book of Boba Fett in the name of honor. And I just saw I forgot to do an end quotation mark, rats. We've got new Star Wars action figures and some other announcements. And, of course, your comments and questions. Daniel says, hey, Mason Weasley, look out. Here we go. I sense that is going to be something that Mason is going to really appreciate and enjoy. How about that? Very, very good. All right, everybody. Well, let's do it. Let's go ahead and take a look at what is brewing in the world of Star Wars this week.
And now, let's see what's brewing in the Star Wars universe this week.
All right, so this week, let's go ahead. We've got a lot of fun announcements, for sure. A lot of new action figures and things. Look at this. This is to scale from the vintage collection. This is it's a play set. It is the Bib Fortuna action figure from the end of The Mandalorian Season 2. It is the heavier set, Bib Fortuna, complete with Jabba's throne room palace on the next slide, as you'll be able to see here in a second. Look at all the accessories this thing comes with. I mean, if you want to set up a diorama, this is the collectible for you. It's very, very nice. Very, very cool. I think it's cool to even make things like that. And then you've got the throne, and they have confirmed that Boba Fett does fit on it really nicely. And Mason's throwing some smack. He says Ross Malfoy. Well, there you go. There you go. Then we've got, look at this beauty right here. This is from the Black Series, the video game Greats. I think this is a great looking figure. There are a number of images to choose from. This is the Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order Knight Brother Archer. A fantastic, fantastic looking one. Mason loves that one too. I mean, look at the sculpt. I'm gonna go back just so you can see. This guy's ripped. It's great, right? So that's a fun sequence from Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. So there you go. I love these gaming great figures. Blake said, I've heard the playset works well with any 3 3/4 inch Jabba's figure people might have. That's correct. That is correct. Ian agrees, says that dude has been hitting the gym. Yes, he has. We've also got from the vintage collection, there is a picture of the figure without the armor. This is a 501st Legion clone trooper from the Clone Wars. You might remember them from the Siege of Mandalore arc. Ben says, those guys scare me in the game, and this still scares me. So, Ben, is it fair to assume you're not going to be ordering that figure? All right, well, I guess I know what not to get you for Christmas, my friend. Oh, by the way, I should have started the show this. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. You are loved and appreciated from everyone here at Coffee with Kenobi. Matthew is here. Hey, Matthew says, hey, happy CWK Live Monday. Sorry, Dan can't stay the whole time. Hey, no problem, brother. Happy to have you on the show. And, of course, you can get it here or you can get the replay on Facebook or Instagram or on our YouTube channel. Although last week I tried to put it on Instagram. For some reason, Instagram wouldn't upload the video, and it was the right size and everything, so I'm just really not sure what happened there. But hopefully I can continue to put these on Instagram, but you can certainly find them on our Facebook page and on our YouTube channel. Ben says, I just might not put it on my nightstand. Pun partially intended. Very, very clever. That deserves one of these. Yes, good job, Ben. All right, so next, this was announced a couple hours ago. A 6-inch Black Series Black Chrysanthemum. Now, this is a figure modeled after the comic book, not from the Book of Boba Fett itself, but there's a look at that. Those pre-orders go on sale tomorrow around lunchtime. James says, hey, everyone, sorry, a little late tonight. No problem, man. Your late pass checked out. You are good to go. So this is Black Chrysanthemum in the box. There's a picture of him without. This is basically a Chewbacca repaint, but it's got the scar over his eyebrow. And got the armor that he wears. Pretty cool, right? I may hold out for one from the Book of Boba Fett, but I certainly wouldn't blame anybody for trying to get this thing. It's really cool that we even have Chrysanthemum. Now, also announced a little bit ago today, you've got the vintage collection for Axe Woves and Casca Reeves, both from season 2 of The Mandalorian. Great figures. The helmets go off and on. You've got the jetpacks and the blaster pistols themselves. I really like these. Again, you've got the photorealism. I've got some close-ups of both of these figures as well. So there's Axe Woves with and without the armor. I mean, look at how realistic. I mean, these are the 3 3/4 inch figures, right? These are the small figures, but they look great. Look at that armor. Look at that helmet. And then there is Casca Reeves. Very cool. Also, Daniel says, if only I collected. If only. Yes, if only. Matthew says, amazing. Andrew says, I wish these vintage collection figures weren't going to be Target exclusives. That does complicate things. Definitely. Ian says, I hope we get Axe in the Black Series. I hope so, too. I mean, they've been pretty good about giving us the figures we want. They're just so hard to kind of get your hands on unless you are able to get them on the pre-order. But at least we know when the pre-order is. And I'm going to try my best to post a link when I get one, if I get one, in the CWK Cafe, our exclusive. Why do I always say exclusive? It's not exclusive. Our Coffee with Kenobi Facebook group. Last one. Miggs Mayfeld from Morak, similar to the Mandalorian one that was revealed last week. Now you've got one to team up with the Mandalorian. It's Miggs Mayfeld. You can act out that sequence. And he has a removable helmet as well. Ross says, you're fortunate if you don't collect, right? I hear you. Blake says, I think I'm cursed. I can't post any figure I own this good. I know, like all of these figures, like the images they send over with all the different poses, they look like statues. They look great. And I can never get mine to look like that. It's just really cool. Ian says he's still waiting to get that Target exclusive Black Series Muddy Mando one day soon. Hopefully, now that would be cool. You just kind of have to go to Target sometimes and hope you find them in an aisle, or you get lucky and see them online. And, I know you can click that box that says notify me when things are back in stock. Sometimes that works, sometimes not so much. Zach is here. What's up, Zach? No apology necessary. Got a late pass for you as well. Everybody is doing great. Mason likes these as well. Ian says the greatest challenge for all collectors, dust and not enough space. Yeah, that's true. And, we all may look like $1 million, but doesn't mean we have it, right? Exactly. All right, we got a couple of book announcements too. This one came out today. Save the day for the wedding of Princess Leia and Han Solo, The Princess and the Scoundrel, coming August 16th, 2022. That is going to be it's kind of neat between this and the other book that's coming out about Lando and Luke. Kind of cool to go back to our heroes from the original trilogy. So that's going to be cool. And Daniel says my money's in costumes. And look, Daniel, it shows. I mean, you've got some of the coolest costumes I've ever seen. So right on. Matthew says my target is 2 figures and a lot of them. Yep. I'm noticing that too. For sure. Anthony says he is pumped for the Han and Leia story. That's right. I am too. It's going to be a great one. I like this. There's Orabesh on the front, assuming it's kind of like the invitation itself. So we'll have that to look forward to. Speaking of look forward to, I've been wanting for so long to be able to Shout from the Rooftops, my third Star Wars book. I've actually written 3 Star Wars books. I can't believe it. It's just awesome. I'm very blessed, very fortunate. This is so cool. My next book I co-wrote with Amy Rakow is Star Wars I Am Your Father, Lessons for Parents, Protectors, and Mentors. This comes out on May 10th, so much more to come. But if you are a teacher, a coach, a parent, a parental figure, aunt, uncle, doesn't really matter. This is for, it's just got there's some great feature pages on the Amazon.com entry. Be sure to check that out. So very, very fun. Very fun. Thanks so much, everybody who reached out today about it. I'm really looking forward to it, for sure. Ben says, about time that Han and Leia tied the knot. Well, yeah, I know, right? Blake says to Ian, as someone who works in shipping, people are still getting things they ordered 3 to 4 months ago for their businesses. Patience, we might have to practice as collecting nerds. That is correct. I agree. And thanks for what you do out there, Blake. We really appreciate it. Anthony says he's buying 2 copies. Congrats, Dan. Well, Anthony, thanks so much, man. I can't wait for you to read it. Andrew says, yes, dads need all the help we can get. Am I right? I know. I hear you, man. Mary says, wow, congrats, Dan, on the new book. Well, thank you so much, Mary. And Ben says, oh my gosh, I'll be getting that. Congratulations. Well, thank you, Ben. I really appreciate that. Matthew, another one for the collection. Congratulations, Dan. You're a man of many talents. We are too kind. I'm just really appreciate that so much. It's just nice to be able to contribute in some small way. And I just can't wait. This is going to come out right before Celebration. So I love that. It would be great to be able to talk about that with all of you face to face, for sure. Ian says, congrats, Dan. So happy, excited for you. Well, thank you, Ian. And thank you so much, everyone. Really appreciate all you got. I'm smiling away. Thank you so much. Very excited about it. I was so excited to have the secret for so long. So finally being able to share it. Being able to write another book with Amy Rakow is great. Amy is so much fun, and we have a great time collaborating, so this is great. Can we get copies signed at Celebration? I'd be happy to sign a copy for you, my friend. Absolutely happy to. Be thrilled. Speaking of thrilled, what's tonight? Well, of course, we're going to talk about your top 5 moments from the Book of Boba Fett episode In the Name of Honor. That is what we're going to talk about. The finale of this episode, look at that picture. So cool. Really looking forward to seeing that. As far as if we get to see more of Boba Fett riding around in a Rancor, we'll see. Daniel says the secret is out. Yes, the secret is indeed out. So again, tonight, top 5 moments from the Book of Boba Fett in the Name of Honor. So let's talk about this. This was the finale of the series. Not series, I'm sorry. I shouldn't say it's for the finale of season 1. I have no idea if it's going to continue. I'd love for it to. I'd like to see more of these characters and stuff like that. I went in depth for it on Greg's show, Rebel Base Card Podcast, where he does Breakfast with Boba, and of course with Anthony, as I mentioned before, on Force Ghost Conversations, and on Coffee with Kenobi with Tom Gross. This week on Coffee with Kenobi, later in the week, Tom and I, and Corey Clubb, the co-creator of Coffee with Kenobi, along with me, we're going to go more in depth on the entire season as a whole. But tonight, we're going to talk about this finale. So let's go ahead and do that. Number 5 for me is the Rancor Ride. We've been hoping and looking forward to this payoff for a long time. Seeing Boba Fett on the Rancor was very, very cool. Extremely cool. So getting to see it actually happen was great. The special effects were through the roof. Just really great. And seeing how he used the chain to hook through that Rancor's nose and just do that ride, that was cool. Blake says, when Dan puts that helmet on behind him, season 2 starts. Oh, yeah, there you go. Ian says, pretty bummed we're not getting more Boba this week, though the extra sleep will be nice. I don't disagree with that. I like the tradition that Mason and I have, but it'll be good to get a little bit of rest. Ian's number 5, Boba using his gaffy stick to defeat Cad Bane really spoke to the importance of his found family. Yes, very much a punctuation of the whole, one of the major themes in that, and there is a pun intended there as well. Number 5 for Ben. Grogu tames the Rancor. To me, it served as a reminder that the Force is alive and well in Grogu and will still be a part of him despite his choice, a la Tar Vizsla. Indeed. Well said. I do see the comparisons there as well. Ross is number 5. The ending Grogu demanding Din Djarin hit the Kineso switch on their N1 starfighter. I like how you put "there" in quotes. Yeah, that was fun. I thought that might show up higher, Ross, but I'm looking forward to seeing what the rest of your list actually is. Number 5 for Mary, Chrysanthemum's fight for survival with the Trandoshans. They're coming around the corner, throwing Trandoshans off of him, and then Boba running out to help him and get him to cover. I was so worried about Chrysanthemum in that episode, or in that sequence. I'm sure you will. I'm sure a lot of you were as well. Daniel's number 5. Rancor action when Boba flew away from Din. I knew the Rancor was making an appearance. My brain didn't go there. But then after he came out, I'm like, oh yeah, of course, here we go. So that was pretty cool. Number 5 for Blake, it's a personal 5, but knowing this was the last week until Kenobi, that me and my supportive wife wake up really early to see how this all ends was a happy but also sad feeling. That is great. Sharing it with your family is the best. I mean, I've certainly made no secret that this series or Mandalorian or even the NFL for that matter or in baseball, it's all more fun you celebrate with your family. For me, it was with Mason. We had the best time. And of course, we all get to talk about it here, which is also amazing. Number 5 for Mason, by the way, is the ending with Cobb Vanth in the back to tank with the mod doctor or whatever his name officially is, ready to chip in wherever he is needed. That was Mason's number 5. Okay, if no one else has a number 5, I'm just going to go ahead and jump into number 4. Number 4 for me is a team up when the Mandalorian and Boba Fett actually team up. Yes, they fought together briefly in the tragedy in season 2 of the Mandalorian, but not for very long and not with their armor in tandem like that. And that was great. That was fantastic. The choreography, the special effects, the action sequence here was really fun. It was a substantially long fight sequence between the two of them. You know, we had the greatest hits. We had Whistling Birds. We had Boba Fett's knee rocket. We had everything, all the cool fighting that they did together. Again, the teamwork, as I've mentioned several times. They get the thesaurus for teamwork, I guess. But it was great. I love that teamwork from them. Okay, number 4 for Ian. Peli, so much Peli. She literally told the legendary R2-D2 to keep his dome on. You know, that is a great one. I should have put when Peli lost her tooth. I wasn't happy it happened, but the way she delivered that and spit out the tooth was... I even said to Mason, did she just spit out a tooth? So that was pretty fun. It was fantastic that it was 1 hour. I know, right? I agree, Daniel. Ross, Grogu saying dad and using the Force to put the Rancor to sleep before falling asleep next to it. Did he say dad? I didn't catch that. Wow, I'd say that's breaking. I don't know how I missed that, but that's cool. Blake, this wasn't my number 4 until our Jedi Master Mason brought it up. But Cobb Vanth in the credits scene, it's setting up something big for Bubba, I think, for Mando Season 3. Oh, cool. I hope so. I would like to get a whole Cobb Vanth series. I mean, how great would that be? Mary's number 4. R2 bringing Grogu to Tatooine. Peli worrying about who's in the X-Wing was great. Then her reaction to Grogu's name. That was fun. Seeing these characters mixed together was so much fun. Yeah. Oh, saving Dad. Okay, so that's not breaking news. Ross didn't just break the internet, although you almost did, my friend. You almost did. Yes, saving his father. Yes, that makes more sense. Okay. Well, Ross, you are good at catching things that I miss, so it wouldn't surprise me if you caught that. Josh, the Major Domo going out to read Boba's surrender terms. Another one I should have put on my list. This is probably going to be my tops for the whole series because I love the Major Domo. He was so entertaining. Ben's number 4. Fennec Shan puts an end to the threat. She's so tough that she single-handedly takes them all out. That was very cool. It was good to see her finally get a chance to really shine of her own accord. So, yeah, I like that too. That was great. Okay, let's see. Number 4 for Dana. The X-Wing flying was exciting, much like the end episode of Mando. I know, right? When you see the X-Wing flying, you hear the sound effect of that engine. There's just so much joy inside of us because we hope who's going to be inside it. That would be Luke Skywalker, but it wasn't for this one. Mason's number 4 was the death of Cad Bane, the way that was actually performed, the twist at the end, and how Boba Fett uses his Gaffney stick that he created to take care of Cad Bane and defeat a very, very powerful nemesis that has been the bane of existence for a lot of Star Wars characters. So that was Mason's number 4. All right, let's go ahead and jump into number 3. Number 3 for me is Tap, Tap, Tap. Ross mentioned earlier, but when Grogu keeps tapping on the M1 Starfighter. How cool to see the droid port converted into like a little private area for Grogu to be all by himself. And Mando says no, no, and he says fine one last time or something to that effect. And he hits the turbo, and then whoosh, away goes the Mandalorian. We see the end credits. That was very fun. That was very fun. I mean, I love that. How could you not be completely enamored by that? They just, the way that they put those two together, the way they have come to our hearts, and the comedic parts of that, so fun. Let's see. The puns are strong with us tonight. I know, right? Thank you. Thanks for the inspiration. Ross is number 3. Fennec Shan mercilessly disposing of the heads of the crime families, the mayor, and head of the Pike. She's ruthless and efficient. Yeah, that was definitely, she got a lot of showcase moments in this episode. Ian's number 3. Cuddle time with Grogu and the Rancor. Yeah, he actually nuzzles up to the Rancor, doesn't he? Number 3 for Mary. The Rancor ride and then Grogu calming the creature down and putting him to sleep, then curling up beside the Rancor. And also, it was very cute. And Grogu not being as tired right away either shows he's getting stronger in his connection to the Force and his ability to use the Force, to work with the Force. Let's see. Mason number 3 is the fight. There's just a massive fight sequence with the Mandalorian, Boba Fett, those droids, the Rancor, Cad Bane, just a whole thing. Mason just put all into number 3, and it's a good one. Daniel's number 3, the Pele crazy carriage ride through Mos Espa and then Grogu reunion, right? That was just awesome. Seeing that carriage and knowing Pele's going to be a part of the fight was pretty fun. Number 3 for Blake was going to be something else until you reminded me of your number 3, Dan. I literally laughed out loud at that moment. It was a reminder of how story-wise I need Din and Grogu to be together. There's nothing like it in all of Star Wars. I agree with that, Blake. I mean, that's the best father-son duo for sure. Josh's next one, Mando getting everyone to stop shooting at the Rancor. This is the most kaiju-friendly creative team outside of Toho, right? And you can tell Dave is a fan, as is, I'm sure, Favreau. So yeah, that was pretty neat. Ben's number 3, Fett and Cad Bane face off. I love how the moment wasn't just a showdown, but it served to finish up the development for Boba Fett in this season, and even call back to Clone Wars a bit. Yeah, I know. Wonder if we'll get stories from before that are fully produced and shared in whatever medium, showing Boba Fett and Cad Bane and their evolution together. That would be cool. All right, so I gave you Mason's number 3, and everyone I think is listed their number 3. If not, go ahead and add it in here as we're going along. But I'm going to go to number 2. Number 2 for me is the X-Wing arrival, and that X-Wing showed up in my heart soared, and I said, no way is Luke Skywalker showing up, because if Luke does, the Pikes are zero threat. And it's probably good that Luke didn't show up story-wise, because it would have been over in like 2 or 3 minutes. But it was R2-D2. And just seeing R2-D2 is always thrilling, and that would lead to an eventual reunion between Grogu and the Mandalorian, which is really wonderful. But again, as we said before, just hearing the engines of the X-Wing roar and land in Tatooine was just phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Let's see. Ben says he hopes that Cad Bane survives. I need more of him in live action. You know, that would be cool, but also, if they keep bringing people back, then the deaths don't mean anything in these series. So I hope that it kind of stays away. But we've got 35 years of Cad Bane stories that we could probably tell, so that there should be a lot there for us, hopefully. Hopefully, Ben. Number 2 for us, Cad Bane versus Boba Fett. The final duel after Bane's goading didn't work earlier in the episode. Nope, did not. He knew he was going to come back, and it sure did. Ian's number 2, Din and Boba fighting side by side. You tell how much fun Robert Rodriguez had filming that. It did seem that he had a blast, didn't it? The next one for Josh, Grogu jumping up to Mando, play that on a loop. Yeah, that was pretty cool. Daniel, the Freetown gang showing up, pairing with the mods and Santo. Yeah, that was neat. It was nice. And apparently, the bartender that works with Cobb Vanth in Freetown, that actor is also with Timothy Oliphant in his other shows, his other Western shows. Can anyone confirm that for me? I heard that today at school, and I didn't know that, but that would be neat. Ian says, visual soul food. That is a great way to put it. Ian, save some of that for CWK lines, but that's good stuff. I like the way you explain that. Blake's number 2, Boba riding the Rancor and then carnage that followed from Godzilla films to King Kong. They paid homage To all the classic monster films, easy for me to say, I adore. Need a Haslab of Boba on his pet. Ooh, that'd be fun. Oh, it's from Deadwood. Oh, okay. Well, thank you so much. I've never seen Deadwood. Can you believe that? I probably need to do that. Number 2 for Mason is when Grogu uses the Force and tames the Rancor, like Ezra does. Like Ezra uses the Force to speak with creatures from nature, and seeing Grogu do that was Mason's number 2. Ben's number 2, Mando and Grogu reunited. If you can get a little teary-eyed when Grogu jumped up to hug Mando, you might be a Pike. Ooh, I like how you said that, Ben. Mary's next one, the Fett and Bane showdowns, especially the second showdown with Bane being killed with a gaffy stick. It seemed to bring the Fett Tusken story to a conclusion. Plus, it may have brought an end to the Cad Bane arc since Clone Wars, such an impactful moment for all the Clone Wars kids. Yes, Mary, and you and I talked about that on text, and yeah, that's a good story if you want to share it. But that's very true. It very much was like that. Just kind of hits you, doesn't it? But let's go to number 1. Number 1 for the top 5 from the finale for me is the family reunion. I mean, Ben just mentioned this, but when Grogu leaps in the Mandalorian's arms and he kind of does that double take, I said this on the show, I cried. Like, I had tears running down my face. I mean, I wasn't bawling or anything like that, but it was very emotional for me. For some reason, well, I know why, of course, but the Mandalorian and Grogu, their father-son dynamic just kind of reminds me of my relationship with Mason, how we're just close and have fun together, and it's just a nice bond. And so I have a soft spot in my heart for Grogu and the Mandalorian. So it was just great. And plus those two characters together, and Mando didn't know when he was going to see Grogu again, and he accepted it very maturely and from a place of being centered. And then to have that be rewarded for him. And of course, Grogu is just innocent and a sweet child. And just seeing that together was just the best. Just the best. Josh says for his top one, the Boba and Mando discussion before the fight ending with "This is the way." It was cool to kind of have them banter back and forth with philosophies. Number 1 for Ian, the reunion of Din and Grogu. So glad to have them back together. You said it best, Dan. I cried. Same here. Oh man, it was just wonderful. Number 1 for Ross, Boba on the Rancor with the reins. Since the moment he told Danny Trejo he didn't want him to ride it, this is what I wanted to see: a magical reinforcement of the Mandalorian beast lore. I know, like a literal Boba Fett with his mythosaur kind of a thing, which is pretty neat. Number 1 for Mary, Mando and Grogu's reunion. Then the last scene with them on the ship and Grogu tapping on the window, so good. We laughed at that. We had so much fun with that. Adorable. Daniel's number 1, Cad Bane and Bubba showdown. Ironic that Boba's Tusken training won the day. Now, wasn't that cool? I like the symmetry of that and how they brought it all together to make it work. I thought that was just a stroke of genius. I really did. Really, really did. Number 1 for Mason, a few people talked about it, was my number 3 is Mason's number 1, the tap, tap, tap. Okay, fine. Boom. They go flying, and Grogu kind of does that like scream like he's on a roller coaster. That was great. That was definitely Mason's number 1. So if you have a number 1 that you want to jump in there or any more that you want to add, please feel free to go ahead and do so. I would be happy to share it on the show. So I've got a little bit of a surprise for you. The show's not over yet, but there's good news and bad news, right? So the good news is next week's top 5 is the Book of Boba Fett moments. Now, the bad news is that next Monday, we're not going to have Facebook Live, okay? So no Facebook Live on Monday. However, there's going to be the next Facebook Live is going to be this week. It's going to be on Friday. On Friday of this week, February 18th at 7 o'clock, is going to be a bonus show. So you're getting 2 CWK Lives this week. So spread the word. If you weren't able to be here with us tonight, you've got another chance to do so on Friday. Because next Monday, I will not be able to be with you for CWK Live because I have some other commitments. But I couldn't leave it without having another Facebook Live. And I wanted to make sure we got that. So that is going to be airing, or I'm going to be coming back with you live on Friday. Okay, so let's be sure to go ahead and check that out. But we're going to go ahead and jump into Ask Dan Z. Actually, though, let's see. Got a few more number 1s. What's the last one I read? Did Mary, did I read yours? I can't remember. Yeah, I did. I didn't get to Daniel's. No, I did get to Daniel's. Let's go to Blake's. Bubba's turned to the pikes so their blood would spill differently into Fett and Din flying into a slaughter. That I won't forget anytime soon. I'm a bit shallow for wanting the series to be more violent, but I love what I got. I'd say I expected to see the duel on Mandalore. That'd be cool. And you know what? That's not shallow, Blake. That's what you wanted. A lot of people were disappointed they didn't get more Boba Fett in his own series, and that's fair. I completely understand that. If I was a massive Boba Fett fan, I'd feel the same way. Or if we switched it around and it was a new Mandalorian, but there were 2 episodes without Boba Fett, I'm sure I would feel like, oh man. But again, all interwovenly, the story works. So no shame in feeling that way, Blake. I understand. Ben, Mando, and Fett emerged to fight. I love that they got to start fighting on their own terms and got the element of surprise, and honestly surprised me. Yeah, it was very surprising. It was very cool. Daniel's excited about what we've got this week, so I'm glad. I appreciate that, Daniel. Mary's honorable mention. Mando and Boba teaming up with their air assault, the throwback to the scene from Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. You know, it would be so great to kind of map this thing through and find all the Western examples that were inspired different sequences from the Book of Boba Fett, because there's a lot of them. And I've seen a lot of these Westerns, but some I haven't. Either way, I could sure use a refresher. So we need to come up with like top Westerns to watch that inspired the Book of Boba Fett. I think we would have a lot of fun doing that. All right, let's go ahead and jump into Ask Dan Z. All right, so now it's time to Ask Dan Z. Be sure to jump in here with any questions that you have for me. Now, there's not a lot I can say about the brand new book, Star Wars, I Am Your Father, but that does come out May 10th. So again, thank you so much, everybody who reached out. I'm really excited for you to do that now. I've had 3 Star Wars books to come out, and it's fun. I tell you what, writing a Star Wars book is a real thrill. It's a real process from beginning to end. You know, there's the writing, there's the editing, there's the waiting to announce it, and then the anticipation of the book coming out, and then everyone getting to read it. It's just really great. So can't wait. Can't wait to see what you all think about it, for sure. I think you will really like it. I really do. So let's see. Blake says, I love a CWK episode on a Boba Fett retrospective. What qualities from the original Star Wars do you think the Book of Boba Fett executed perfectly? I'm going to read that again, Blake, because that's really good. What qualities from the original Star Wars do you think the Book of Boba Fett executed perfectly? Well, actually, this week on Coffee with Kenobi, I'm going to ask that, Blake. So I'm going to get that one down, and I'm going to be sure to talk about it, because I think that's a great question. Ben just finished listening to Fallen Star, so my question, can we start a support group for High Republic fans? What a ride. I know, man. It's so good. And I can tell you, Claudia Gray is going to come back on Coffee with Kenobi. She came on the week that the Fallen Star aired, or came out. But she's going to come on probably in April. And we're going to talk about that book with spoilers. So yes, I understand how you feel. For sure. Ian has a similar question to Daniel. What do I think about the first Kenobi poster? Did it up the excitement level? Ian, yes. And Dan, yes. It sure did. It looked great, and seeing Ewan McGregor like that. It's great finding out that it's going to be 10 years after Revenge of the Sith. I can't believe I didn't put that in for things that came out. Maybe we'll look at that more closely for sure. Gosh, crazy. Well, speaking of looking at it more closely, again, remember the next CWK Live is not going to be Monday, but it's going to be this Friday, so later this week. We're going to go top 5 moments from the Book of Boba Fett, the entire series. The entire season 1 of the Book of Boba Fett. I keep saying series because that is the series. So far, it's season 1. So we got the top 5 of the Book of Boba Fett moments. So anything from chapters 1 through 7 is fair game for your top 5. So be sure to join us on Friday, this Friday, for a special CWK Live top 5 of the Book of Boba Fett moments. Exactly. So Blake says, I get to see my CWK family twice in a week. Let's go. That's right, man. Let's go. For sure. This Friday, you get the top 5 list ready for the entire season. I finally did it. Season and series are not synonyms. What's the deal? You know, and I'm going to try to pick some that that I didn't pick before for the individual episodes. I didn't save the ones I wrote down. I just have to go back and watch the old shows. But interesting. So yeah, it's going to be fun talking about it. It's a bonus show this week because again, next Monday I will not be able to join you because I have a prior commitment. But I had to make sure that we did it because you know what? When this show comes out on Friday, because the show you're listening to is $4.97. Coffee with Kenobi this week is $4.98. And then the next live show is $4.99, which means next week is Coffee with Kenobi show number 500. That's right, show number 500. I can't believe it. But so what are we going to do for show 500? Well, a lot of great stuff. I can't say much just yet, but show 500 is going to be epic. Epic Coffee with Kenobi show number 500. I can't wait to share it with you. Mary says in the UK they actually call each season a series. Oh, see, well there you go. It was my British approach to things. Well, thank you, Mary, for pointing that out, and thanks to all of you for joining us here on CWK Live again every Monday night at 7:00 p.m. Central Standard Time on a normal schedule. Blake says, congrats on 500, Dan. You and the CWK crew are the best. Well, thanks, Blake. I appreciate it, man. Thanks for being along for the ride. Daniel put the hashtag 500 with the star eyes emoji. Thank you, Daniel. Pretty cool. Yeah, I love it. Can't wait to see what you think of Show 500. I got some great surprises. I got a lot of fun stuff. We've been working on some of the stuff for a very long time, and it's going to be very special. I'm looking forward to sharing it with each and every one of you. To me, Coffee with Kenobi is the best Star Wars community because of the kindness, the passion, the intelligence that we all exhibit and that we share together. And if you get a chance to, honestly, if you get a chance and you want more CWK, then one great place to do that is in the CWK Cafe. Join us for Star Wars conversation at www.coffeewithkenobi.com/community. That is our Facebook group. And if you want an exclusive Coffee with Kenobi podcast, then look no further than CWK Pro. This week we talked about our favorite Super Bowl traditions. If you want to hear the CWK Pro, we've got an audio version of the podcast. You also have a video portion of the podcast when you need to come hang out and become a member of the CWK Alliance at www.coffeewithkenobi.com/CWK Alliance. That is our Patreon page. You can support the show and give back. And we have a lot of fun on there. I think you would enjoy it as well. Let's see. Mason's got some fun stuff here that I hadn't even thought about. Ian says, seriously, the best group of Star Wars fans out there. Thanks for bringing this community together, Dan. And my pleasure, buddy. My absolute pleasure. Looking forward to chatting with you for pour over this week. Mason says, we're halfway to show 1,000. Wow. Woo. 1,000 shows. Can you imagine, Mason? You think we're going to get there, buddy? By then you may be the co-host. Who knows? Mary says, have a great week, everyone. See you back here on Friday. That's going to be a hard top 5 to come up with. I know, for the entire first season of the Book of Boba Fett. Crazy. Ross says, congratulations on the new book, 500 episodes, and thanks for contributing all that you do. And Mason, stay out of the Slytherin common room. Love it. Love it. Thanks so much, Ross. As always, my brother. Appreciate it. And Mason says, how dare you, Ross? Uh-oh. Shots fired, everybody. Well, gotta get out of here and get those kids to their corners to separate. Thanks again, everybody. We'll see you this week on Thursday for the normal Coffee with Kenobi, where we break down the entire season of Boba Fett, and then you get the chance to do it the very next day on CWK Live, a special bonus show this Friday, February 18th at 7:00 p.m. Central Standard Time. Something to look forward to Friday. May the Force be with you. Thank you, Daniel. May the Force be with you. Again, everybody, be well, stay safe, stay warm, or stay comfy wherever you are in the world. And remember, this is the podcast you're looking for. See you on Friday for our special show. Talk to you then.